week 8 of the fantasy football season, and here's a few defenses and special team units I have as sleepers this week. The first one's Kansas City Chiefs. So I know the Kansas City Chiefs, they've been pretty horrible on defense this season, but right here they got a decent matchup versus the New York Giants that we know don't score many points some games. We know Daniel Jones is still turnover prone, even though he's improved in that category this season. And it's a Monday Night Football game where the Chiefs, they're going to be pumped up, ready to go. They're 3-4 in the season. They've definitely been struggling and got embarrassed last week versus the Tennessee Titans, losing 27-3. So the last two defensive outings here for the Chiefs. Week 6 at Washington, 13 points allowed, an interception and a fumble recovery. And Week 7 at Tennessee, 27 points allowed with a sack and an into. So right here, Week 8 versus the Giants, I think they'll give up anywhere from 20 to 27 points total. But I think they could get a pick or two and 3 or 4 sacks in this ball game for a decent sleeper option. The next defense is the Chicago Bears. So the Bears, they play better defense, obviously, where they're home at Soldier Field. And this week, that's what's on the schedule for them. They're home versus the San Francisco 49ers. And the 49ers are middle of the pack, giving up the 16th most fantasy points to defenses. We know Khalil Mack's still on this defense, and he's got to make a few plays here. The Bears, they're in the race kind of here at 3-4, but I think they're going the other way with a struggling offense and a team that just can't score points this season. So the last few games for the Bears, Week 5 at the Vegas Raiders, 9 points allowed, 3 sacks in it though. Week 6 versus the Packers, 24 points allowed, 3 sacks. And last week, Week 7 at Tampa Bay, their offense put their defense in bad positions, and Tampa Bay's a powerhouse anyway, 35 points allowed and a fumble recovery. But this week here, in Week 8 versus San Francisco, I think they could get to Jimmy Garoppolo a few times in this ball game. I think they could cause a few turnovers. And right now, they're available in 73% of fantasy leagues. So if you need defense in a pinch here, I don't think the Bears are the worst of options this week. And the third and final defense I have as a sleeper is the Tennessee Titans. So we saw the Titans last week shut down Patrick Mahomes and the high-powered Kansas City Chief offense here with a huge fantasy game. In the last few weeks here, this defense has come to play and put up pretty decent fantasy numbers. Week 5 at Jacksonville, 19 points allowed, 2 sacks and into, and a fumble recovery with a pick-6 touchdown. Week 6 versus Buffalo, tough ball game, 31 points allowed, 3 sacks and an into. And then last week, like I mentioned, versus the Chiefs, 3 points only, 4 sacks and into, and 2 fumble recoveries. So this week here, it's a division matchup at the Indianapolis Colts. And I think in this ball game, they can make a few plays here on Carson Wentz and the Colts. And I know this season, Carson Wentz, he's definitely improved on not turning the ball over as much. But after what we saw last week from Tennessee, they could get to the quarterback, they could play hard, and maybe Mike Vrabel has lit a fire under this team, and now they're playing a potential after winning 2 big ball games versus 2 good teams in the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think their DST's a decent play this week, and they're available in 90% of fantasy leagues. That's a few defense and DST units I have as sleepers here for Week 8 of the fantasy football season.